I do call him Black Jesus.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I will never call him back.
That's disgusting. If you eat Hershey's bar for fun, you like golf balls in your mouth.
Really weird. So, I'm a really simple guy when it comes to women. What is wrong with you?
I ask myself that every day.
I don't know what the hell happened from the series before to the series with the Celtics.
It's my biggest conversation, and I hope we go viral with this one.
Princess and the Frog.
You're drunk. You should not be drinking. You should not be drinking this early in the day, bro.
Buddy, I still got 30 minutes. I start drinking.
Should have started.
Hey, did you get that? Did you get
Yeah. Hey, I'm leaving that in the video, bro. I'm leaving that in. Well, I know. Or I need to send you. Hey, where's my camera? Hey, Pete. Yep. Hey, Pete. As soon as we said that, he said, "Put me on game." Good evening, morning, afternoon, and whenever you may be watching this show. As of right now, we are live, and this is Gumball Sports Machine, your favorite show, your favorite podcast. This is the podcast in which we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive. And as always, I am not on my own. This ship does not run on just the fuel that I provide. This train does not run on just the field that I provide. Of course, we have my boy, my brother, my co-host, D-Lo, and David Largo, a.k.a. D-Lo. D-Lo, how are you doing? You look like you are energetic. You look like you're ready to go.
I'm living a dream, man. It's always a pleasure to be on here with this sexy beast, you know?
Oh, huh. Well, I'm blushing now. See what you did, D-Lo? So that's on you.
What I'm good for. That's what I'm good for.
Hey, listen. You know what? That's a great point. You know, I'm gonna leave, anyways. Okay, and it's not just us two. We have my uncle, my OG, my dog, and what we like to call the generalizer here on GSM. We have Triple OG Tone in the building. Tone, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm awake tonight. You know what I'm saying? Last episode, my eyes was a little droopy. You know what I'm saying?
I got the energy tonight, boys. Tone, you said you got the energy tonight too?
I'm back. What's going on, Lo?
Yeah, I'm living the dream, man.
Hey,
wake up.
I don't. You guys ever had a little bit of that blue juice?
No.
Little blue juice?
Nah, you watched a little too much Avatar, bro.
No, my bad. I took a shot of the blue juice before the show tonight. That wall, gonna run right through it here.
He's gonna Kool-Aid man.
I'm gonna Kool-Aid man it. Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay, the real reason why, you know, my blue juice shot that I took was the Suns winning and Jalen Green returning, but we'll get to that later. Fellas, you guys have a great weekend? You have a good weekend?
I have a fantastic weekend.
I didn't ask you actually, Tone. I was just asking specifically.
I didn't have a good weekend.
Okay, me either. Tone?
My name might be Mr. I Be Knowins now. It's no longer the generalizer. Mr. I Be Knowins.
I like that one too.
I went 0 for 4 on my picks this week. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna put it out there.
Bud. Me and you both.
I'm gonna put it out there, and I don't ever want to talk about it again. So, D-Lo, I don't think this weekend ever happened. Actually, I don't know. So it wasn't good or bad. It didn't happen. But unfortunately, the weekend did happen, and we're gonna talk about it. The NFL divisional round. Actually, hold on. We have some comments on to get to first. Gucci. Let's see. Lamar have better wide receivers than. Yeah. It's
Not
a
wrong.
conversation. It's a conversation to be had. I mean, he has D Hop and Zay Flowers, and I mean Josh Allen. Yeah, he did have.
Andrews.
Yeah, Mark Andrews. Yeah. That's an argument. That's a debate to be had. Without Mahomes, Josh was supposed to be. Yeah, I thought this was the year for Josh. I thought this was the year for him to make it to the Super Bowl, and he didn't.
Jumping right
We'll get into that
on this weekend. Straight
Huh?
into the, I said WAP got us jumping straight into the nasty conversations from the weekend. The Lamar.
Hey, right into it. Yeah,
right into it.
And then hold on, Jalen Green has returned. Now, he's not, LeBron or Kevin Durant or anything like that. But
I did hear some commentary from your boys during the game. It's highly noted that he was the leading scorer for the second best team in the West last year.
Indeed, he was. And now he doesn't have to be that number one option anymore.
No, but just knowing that he can.
Yeah. On a guy like that who's going to get a lot of attention, or who had a lot of attention, and now is going to get the second or third best defender on any given night, and he's not going to get as many attention and trapped all the time.
And you got the other DB who's been frying all year, basically. So
yeah, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, and listen, Grayson Allen, that's another guy who can go get you 20 on any given night. Hey, first of all, listen. I thought it was a rule, a league-wide rule in the NBA that you can only have one nice white boy. We have two. We have broken that rule. We have Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie.
Yeah, we had to, but for some reason we gave Luke Cornett away.
I don't know why. Listen, when you have the chance to have two nice white boys in your team,
hey, that man. I don't know if the Spurs gonna be able to keep him because they got a lot of valuable pieces over there.
Yeah, he's been valuable for them. He's been good. And then lastly, Papa Nano has returned, and I'm not even gonna read that. Just gonna put it out there, and so that
yeah, jump on a bandwagon.
I like
that alone.
The bandwagon that's on
here.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll go ahead and pass there, boss.
Yeah, I will stick to being the third best team in the NFC West.
I'll stick to my 3 championships.
Huh?
Yep. Patrick Mahomes has 3 championships.
Goodness gracious!
Knew where that was going.
Yep.
We just keep it going, man. Since 2011, it's either been the Patriots or the Chiefs in the AFC chip, man. So
Yep.
We just keep it going.
Yeah, me and Tone, we have actually the Niners have 3 championships too, don't they?
The Niners have more than 3.
I was hoping it was just 3. It was 4. Okay, anyways, I don't want to be sad anymore. My Cardinals suck, and they still don't have a head coach. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We're just a horrible franchise. Anyways, let's talk about the divisional round, boys. It was a good weekend. There were a couple of all-time classic games, and there were a couple of stinkers. Let's talk about the games that we enjoyed the most, the games that were the most competitive. D'Lo, when you look at this weekend's games, obviously some of them are super, super, super physical, as the NFL playoffs should be, and some of them were just kind of, yeah. What was your favorite game of the weekend, D'Lo? What was the game you liked the most?
Definitely Bears Rams was my favorite game of the week, and I thought the Bears had it, dude. I genuinely did, and I was rooting for them because as a Niner fan, I hate to see the 2 NFC West teams in the NFC Championship game. It literally pains my heart. It was a phenomenal game. I mean, Matt Stafford looked like he was going to choke at the end of the game. It really did. And Caleb threw the Hail Mary, let me run back 20 yards just to throw a 14-yard pass. And somehow ended up completing that. It was probably the best play of the weekend. But I like that they both had this ability to go out and be good defensively. Like we know the Rams, especially with the front seven, are really good, but the secondary has always been really shaky to a lot of us. And then the Bears, like statistically, they have a lot of turnovers, but they aren't very good defensively. They're kind of just mediocre. And so to see it be a defensive game really was not what I was anticipating from the game. So probably definitely my favorite game of the weekend.
Tone, again, I think I know the answer to this question. But I know what result was your favorite. Well, your favorite game to watch of this weekend. Now, again, you can absolutely choose your game, but your favorite game to watch this weekend.
That was actually Bills Broncos. You know, as odd as that may sound, because again, we won, but I don't know, the game to me wasn't as exciting. I mean, being a Patriots fan, I was excited with the outcome, but that Bills Broncos game was a lot of back and forth. It was nice, man. And again, even that game, defense, and they put up some numbers, but the defense was still just amazing that game, man. And I think I've been saying it all playoffs is it seems like defense and a quarterback that doesn't have too many turnovers is the key to success.
You know what? Yeah, Tone, I'm with you. My favorite game of the weekend was that Bills Broncos game. It's when you talk about a back and forth game, I don't know exactly how many lead changes was in this game, but it was just exciting from beginning to end. Whether it was Josh Allen making dumb mistakes and turning the ball over, whether it was Bo Nix making some really, really good throws, or, the penalties at the end of the game, obviously, were they didn't decide the game, but they did have a big impact on the game. And, of course, the interception that McMillan had at the end of the game was exciting, too. But this was just a fun game to watch, man. It was nonstop. It was action-packed the whole time. Now, Josh Allen, he did some Josh Allen in the playoff type things, but he also and now that means good and bad. He made some really, really good Josh Allen plays, and then he made some really, really bad Josh Allen mistakes. And I think that's what made this game so fun. 33-30 in overtime. Of course, Matt Prater kicking that game-time field goal to get it to overtime. So, and listen, I might be wrong about Bo Nix. Now, I'm not saying that Bo Nix can go win you a game. And if you need him to go throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns, I'm not saying he can do that. What I am saying is Bo Nix comes up clutch when you absolutely need him to. And he did just that in this game this weekend. And I really like the way Bo Nix played. Again, I don't know who Jared Stidham is going to throw the ball to this weekend. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that game pans out. And we'll talk about that game on Friday. But that was my favorite game of the weekend. Again, action-packed, nonstop. It was fun to watch.
Categorize Bo Nix as like a premier game manager, like a premier,
like an upper echelon game manager. Yeah, because I think that's a good place to classify him as, because again, he's not this guy who's going to go throw for 4,500 yards and 45 touchdowns, but he's the guy that can go win you a game when you need him most. If you are in the game, he can go win you a game, and that's exactly what he did this weekend. Now, the last member of our crew joining us tonight, we got my boy. We like to call him the expert analyst, expert when it comes to basketball and football. Our expert analyst, we have Kyson, has joined. Oh, that's a fantastic hat, by the way.
Go on mute. Oh, there you go.
What's good? What's good? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me good?
Yep.
Good to see y'all boys, man. Hey, look, I came perfect time, right? Because I just came from San Francisco. D-Lo. So
you want to talk about
I was in the household of San Francisco 49ers fans. And my favorite game was the 49ers getting absolutely smacked from the opening seconds to the very end. I mean, just straight up beat down. Man, Rashid Shaheed off the gate, kick return, touchdown. And the momentum completely shifted after that. I called it. First possession for the Niners is a fourth and what? I think it was 4th and 1. I say before it's third down, they miss it. I'm like, Shanahan's gonna go for it, and they're not gonna get it. And what happens? They
Exactly what
don't get
happened.
it.
We got it, and they called it back like
Oh
some
yeah,
bogus
yeah.
shit.
The timeout. You're right. The timeout. So Mike McDonald calls a timeout, and the momentum again. That's a killer in momentum because they got it, but they didn't count it. They run it again. They run a different play, and they don't get the fourth down. And then I think it was a fumble recovery that they thought was a fumble, but then it wasn't. It was an incomplete pass. Like little things like that are momentum crushers, especially when you're on the road. And it was a beauty to see. I mean, Seahawks played phenomenal football, didn't turn the ball over, created havoc on the defensive side of the ball. Man, they look scary, man. They look scary.
So a couple things. First of all, Kyson, that's a fantastic hat. Love that hat.
Yes, sir.
Baseball
We
season.
rock, baby.
I cannot wait. The pitchers and catchers report here in a few weeks. Cannot wait. D'Lo, if you want to talk about it, obviously we like to talk about things, get through things. If you want to talk about the 49ers game, I am absolutely not here for you. You can go by that by yourself.
Thank you.
You
I
call
want to
somebody.
hear what you have to say. What you say?
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
that was quick.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but yeah, not
No.
right now. No comments.
No, it's okay. Like I said, I'm not here for you when it comes to anything else. It's all about your feelings. I'll be here, but I'm not talking about the 49ers. Anyways, let's talk about one of the other teams that played this weekend. Specifically, a player that played this weekend, Josh Allen. One of the 4 best quarterbacks, a lot of people would say, in the NFL, an MVP, and he's also a guy that has not been able to get over the hump when it comes to the playoffs. He's got to the AFC Championship. He's got to the divisional round multiple times, and he's lost to Patrick Mahomes. He lost to Joe Burrow. And now he's lost to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. A lot of the criticism when it comes to the top quarterbacks in the league that are not named Patrick Mahomes get a lot. They get a lot of criticism. Specifically Lamar Jackson. And when you look at the criticism Lamar Jackson gets, a lot of people are saying that it's not equal to the amount that Josh Allen should be getting for his playoff woes and his inability to come up big in the playoffs. So, Kyson, this is your guy. That's Lamar that we're kind of comparing him to. Now, obviously, he wasn't in the playoffs this year. But when you look at the criticism that Lamar gets when he's not able to get over the hump in the playoffs, and now we're looking at the criticism, or lack of criticism, maybe I should say, that Josh Allen is getting, do you think that Josh Allen is receiving enough criticism for his inability to win big playoff games and get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm not even going to compare it. So I keep getting a phone call. Yeah, you can't even I can't even compare it between Lamar and Josh Allen. I just think Josh Allen just gets put on a pedestal that not even Patrick Mahomes, a 3-time Super Bowl winning MVP caliber player, gets. I mean, it's like the media completely disregards his woes, his wrongdoings, and it's ridiculous. Um, and I get it, with the rise of the African American quarterback. I feel like a lot of guys that don't like those type of quarterbacks want to cling on to a quarterback that's not African American, that's white, and that's usually what the quarterbacks were back in the day when we were coming up. But it's a new era. As we seen at the beginning of the season, there was 16 black quarterbacks. I think that's the most ever to start a season. So um, when I don't think that sits right with some of the NFL fan base, and they're gonna cling on to Josh Allen that plays in Buffalo, a predominantly white area. And I don't think Josh Allen is to blame for that necessarily. He takes accountability for his actions. He was the first to say, "Hey, I let my team down. I feel like this is all on me," and so we can't fault him as a player. And I don't. I'm the first to say I'm a fan of Josh Allen, even though he is a rival. But with that being said, I don't like how the media just holds him up to this throne that he has not earned. If anyone should be getting the praise and getting the pedestal, it should be Patrick Mahomes. He's 100% deserved it. And on a different topic, the scrutiny that Lamar gets, that just comes with the territory. He's one of one. We've never seen someone like him. I know a lot of people like to compare him to Vic, but I think he has a little bit more impact than Vic did, just because of the social media era. And like, man, so many kids look up to this kid, white, black, Mexican. Um, like it's insane. I know Tone, you can argue with me with that Vic comparison on terms of impact and cultural um presence that he has. But with that being said, as a Lamar fan, I've been riding for this guy since day one, since he's entered the league. They wanted this man to play running back, wide receiver. So when it comes to that, I don't really stress it. But we gotta stop allowing the media, and we're the media as well. We gotta stop allowing the mainstream media to just disregard and not be consistent when it comes to Josh Allen, because the man had 4 turnovers, potentially could have had 6 turnovers, 7 turnovers. He could have had he could have had an historically bad game, and it was cleaned up by his defense and his team. And they lost by the skin of their teeth. But with that being said, yeah, I don't like how the media just holds him up to that standard.
You know what, Kyson, that's a really good point. And Tone, I want to ask you, because Kyson brought up Michael Vick, and now I will come out and say Michael Vick was not the player that Josh Allen is. But when you talk about the criticism that Josh Allen gets, this is an MVP. This is a guy that's been at the top of the quarterback list for 5 years at least. Do you think Josh Allen is getting the correct amount of criticism that he should be getting for not being able to get as far in the playoffs as he probably should be getting?
No, I think that's kind of obvious. Well, I don't know, and I'm actually the guy who tends to bring up the racial controversies throughout all sports, but I don't know if it's all on race. I think that I used to feel the same way about Russell Wilson. I used to always feel like he was put on a pedestal versus other quarterbacks. And I thought it was because he played more of the old school traditional style of football. Now, of course, he could still pedal out of the pocket, but it was more towards when you look at a Michael Vick or you look at a Lamar, he remains in the pocket longer, than they do traditionally. That's just the style of football that he played. And I feel like there is an old school group of media guys who like that style of play. And I don't know if it's specifically towards race, but I also think that can be an additive. I spoke to this when I spoke about Stephen Curry and those type of things. It's like people like the people that they resemble. And LeBron James is 6'9", 240. Not a lot of people that resemble that. Stephen Curry, 6'2", 6'3". A lot more people can look at Steph Curry and say, oh, maybe I can be like that when I'm older, especially the kids, versus a LeBron James. There's a lot of people, I guess, who might want to throw the football that can't perform the way Patty does, the way Lamar does. Now, I will say Josh Allen is a little bit different. He's actually a guy who, 6'4", 6'5", and
About
he can
6'5",
pedal.
yeah.
He can pedal too, like he's pretty quick for his size. Now, he doesn't do it as much as Lamar does, but he can pedal. And he's pretty dynamic for that style of play. Like he's not just the old school traditional quarterback that we were used to seeing probably in my heyday. That's why Michael Vick got that much love and that much attention, that much regard. But I do think it's several dynamics. I do agree that he does play in Buffalo, which is, it's a football town. And when you get one of those quarterbacks who actually is capable, many people think he's capable of getting you to the promised land, they're gonna fall in love. And that's that northeastern, look at Drake May. Drake May's the second season, and they're already touting him, saying that he could, take Brady's spot. And I'm like, dang, Brady, Brady did a lot. You know what I'm saying? Did a lot to get he did a lot to get the spot, and then he did a lot in the, you know what I'm saying, in the spotlight. I will say that I do think Drake is headed in the right direction, but it just definitely seems as though when the Northeast gets one of those type of guys, they put him on that pedestal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and I'm sure Josh Allen in Buffalo has the keys to Buffalo. I mean, he's done some things for that city already that a lot of players haven't done. But D'Lo, when you look at Josh Allen's lack of success in the playoffs, and then you look at other players' lack of success, and they get a little bit more criticism than one Josh Allen may get. Is Josh Allen getting criticized enough? Is there enough pressure on him to go win a championship and not like, oh, he can he lost, whatever, it's not his fault? Is he taking enough of the blame?
Should now. And I think the reason that we've given these excuses to Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson is always because, oh, it was Patrick Mahomes. And that really just kind of stood, right? Because we see what he's done. 3 Super Bowls before the age of 30 is impressive. And it was always sort of like a check mark, right? Like, okay, well, he lost to Patty or he lost to Lamar, and these guys went on to lose to Patty. So like it was okay because there was no getting over that hump. But there was no Patrick, there was no Lamar, there was no Burrow. And so now Josh Allen goes out and he loses again. This is where the criticism has to come in. This was the opportunity that everyone was saying. Everyone was saying there's no quarterback in the stratosphere of these top 4 guys that is in the playoffs, and you should go out and this is your best opportunity to win it all. And in the game where he had that opportunity, he fell flat on his face, to be honest. I think this Buffalo loss is almost entirely on him. Now, there were some other issues. James Cook, the fumble that he had. The defense, there were some plays that they gave up that they probably shouldn't have given up. So there are other things that you can point out and say, this happened or this happened. But the main reason was Josh Allen. All of the turnovers. There were, especially on, the most debatable call, the one where everyone thought that he caught it, and he didn't. Just plain and simple, he did not catch it. But he underthrew that ball. If he would have just thrown it a couple yards more, it would have been a touchdown. So there are little lapses here where you can point and say, oh, maybe this was a ref problem, or maybe it was Josh Allen, and it's just what it is. And so now there is no excuse for Josh Allen. You have to hold him accountable, and this is on him. It's just that simple. I know that's my perspective from here on out is maybe it's a Josh Allen problem. Maybe he just isn't enough. Maybe he has to have this all-worldly team around him to be able to get over that hump, because we all know the Bills roster is not elite in any terms. So maybe he has to have a good defense and some wide receivers, and that's okay. Not everyone can be in this upper echelon where it really is Patrick Mahomes and then everybody else.
And it's here's my thing. And Kyson, I really like the Michael Vick comparison, because when you look at the Michael Vicks and the Lamar Jacksons and the Josh Allens, a lot of the times it's the oohs and ahs, right? Josh Allen, 6'5", and he's, Tone said he can pedal, he can move, he can get around the pocket, he can run for 66 yards on 12 carries. Like he can do everything. Michael Vick, he's juking everybody out like a running back, and then he's throwing the ball 80 yards down the field. Lamar Jackson, the same thing. And then he's also he's become ridiculously athletic. Accurate with the football as he's throwing the football. The problem I have with Josh Allen is that game on Sunday or on Saturday, whenever it was, that game against the Broncos, he was the reason why they were in the game. he's also the reason why they lost the game. Because the difference in the game was that fumble before halftime, where they have 20 some odd seconds left in the game, and he's running the ball and he's carrying it like a loaf of bread, and then he fumbles the ball and gives the Broncos a field goal to go into the half with, to go up to 2 possessions, 20-10. But then he makes some ridiculous plays, like the throw he made to Dalton Kincaid for a touchdown, and just like the problem is he has to be the reason why they win the game, and he cannot be the reason they lose. And that's exactly what he's been over the past few years. Bo Nix outplayed him. That's simple as that. Bo Nix outplayed him. And it's not because Bo Nix had this amazing game. Bo Nix made less mistakes than Josh Allen did. Point blank simple. And when you do that, a lot of the times you will win the game. When you make less mistakes than your opponent's quarterback, you will win the game. Because turnovers cost double in the playoffs. They cost double. The fumble he had before halftime, like I just mentioned, cost them 3 points. How much did they lose by? 3 points. The interceptions, the 3 interceptions he threw, 2 interceptions, I'm sorry. 2 interceptions he threw. Costly. They cost double, led to points. You cannot turn the ball over in the playoffs. They cost double. And so I hold Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson to a different pedestal. Now, do I hold them to the same standard that I hold Patrick Mahomes? No, I don't, because I don't compare anybody else to Patrick Mahomes other than Patrick Mahomes. But Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, they are MVPs. So, of course, they are going to be held to a different standard than the rest of the quarterbacks in the league. And so they should get the correct amount of criticism when they don't perform in the biggest moments of the game. And that's exactly what Josh Allen did. He did not perform when he needed to perform, and he made more mistakes than Bo Nix, which led him to losing his team the game. And he's done that multiple times over the past few years. All right, let's get to some of these comments. Now we're gonna talk about that Rams and Bears game because that was fantastic. But yeah, Caleb Williams, boys, he's on the come up. He might be a top 10 quarterback as we speak. That throw he made at the end of the game, at the end of regulation. Speaking of Josh Allen, I think there are 2 other quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, that can make that throw. That was a ridiculous throw. CJ had a good rookie year, and now he can't live up. We're going to talk about CJ also in a little bit. This is a guy that, again, like Gucci said, he had a very, very good rookie year. He has not been that good since. And I have a very, very interesting comment about that here in a few minutes. Sean Payton's system, he's good. Yeah, he's good. But Bo Nix he lived up to the moment. He played really, really well. And this is what he was talking about, D-Lo. I did pick the Niners to beat the Seahawks.
No,
I didn't. No, I said I. I didn't say. Oh yeah.
Oh, Gucci said y'all.
Yeah,
He's talking about me and Maul. He's not talking about you, Tom.
Yeah.
We know he's not talking about you.
Yeah. About the what's that gambling site, FanDuel? They about to call me.
Oh, see, there you go.
Right.
Also,
there's
hey, D-Lo, what your family got? Mike Vick is the
I ain't gonna lie, like when I respect Twins' comment about that, but again, you had to be there, and I think
that's what I'm saying. That's it. It's up for debate for sure.
I was gonna say it's a conversation for another day, but it's almost like what Dr. J was able to do, and then Michael Jordan did similar things.
So you was around for Dr. J?
No. I'm just gonna say.
See, there you go, cuz you weren't no good for that. You were not. You ain't no good for that, bro.
For it.
Like Dr. J didn't really have someone to preview, which made some of the moves that he did highly touted. They were like, "Yo, I've never seen this before." The OGs from that era, from Dr. J's era, when they saw Jordan, they were like, "Oh yeah, that's what Dr. J did." Now for us, or for me, when I seen Jordan do it, I was like, "Oh my God." You know what I'm saying? Because I had never seen it, not knowing that Dr. J had already jumped from the free throw line. But like what Lamar's doing, I'm not trying to discredit him. But yo, when I saw Michael Vick do it I was like, yo, I never seen nobody do what this dude is doing. Like, really run back 30 yards to throw it 60 something. I'm like, yo, and he's in between four, you know what I'm saying? 4 and 5 linemen. I'd never seen anybody move the way Mike was moving. That dude was doing stuff. I'm like, yo, is he human? I felt like he was training. He was training with his dogs. Like, he was like letting them off the leash.
Come get me.
Yeah.
And if you bite me, that's you know what?
Oh. But yeah.
Yo, we're so we're just not gonna have a show anymore. And YouTube is gonna send somebody to my house and throw me through my computer monitor. Like this, what is happening? What is going on? It is chaos here. No, that was good. That was funny. Josh Allen is a dog, but I think that first year, I think the Chiefs got the ball for. Yeah, you know what's crazy? Since they changed the rule for Josh Allen, he's still never won an overtime game in the playoffs. I think he's 0 for 4, 0 and 4.
0 for 7.
Is it 0 and 7?
I will say this. Y'all were highly critical of Jalen Hurts with the
because he's ass.
Yeah, he's not good.
I'm gonna just put that out there.
No. Because we don't compare Jalen Hurts to guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
But what's the quarterback sneak? What we call it again?
Oh, the tush push.
Tush push.
Josh Allen used it the most this season.
It wasn't a tush push though. Now some of them were a tush push, and then some of them were just the original quarterback sneak.
They said it was tush push. He used the most this year.
Hey, listen. All I'm gonna say is that if it didn't get banned, why not?
Yeah, but then don't cry about it, and that's weak. That's weak about crying about it and then using it, and then not winning. It's even worse.
Yeah. It works.
Guys, were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
I'm just saying, Josh Allen is getting paid like $58 million or whatever. Like,
yeah.
How can you get this man help? How?
It's tough. But at that point, it's you expect him to be Superman when you're paying him $58 million a year. You kind of need him to be Superman, and he hasn't been that so far.
Sometimes that's the problem. But you said it. He cooks in his bag, D-line in his bag. Yeah, I think that bag, one of those straps broke. Yeah, and I think that, and I think he forgot to zip up a few parts of the bag because the turnovers killer. Let me see. And at that point, the defense got to go. But I mean, Gucci again. You're paying him $58 million a year. Oh, so they play well.
Yeah, they play good, especially
they made plays. It's just Josh Allen turned the ball over 4 times,
and they still only lost by 3.
They only lost by 3.
Yeah, and again, like Josh Allen, he's the reason why they were in the game. He's also the reason why they lost. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You cannot.
You speaking to was huge at the end of the half. That was crazy.
It's huge. They scored 10 points in a matter of 22 seconds. You cannot allow that to happen in a playoff game. That costs double. So Josh Allen, he needs to be better in the playoffs. And then I've been around to see all the. All right, now you know what, D'Lo, can you? How old? Would you mind? Do you think he would mind revealing Papa Nano's age?
Yeah, I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that out into the world, but
so he's seen.
Let's just say he's seen. Let's just say it's true. Let's just say he is older than old man Tone.
Yeah, he's 65. So Tone, you only got a few years on him, dog. That's all right.
Dang.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
My bad. Okay, my bad. Tone, I love you, dog. That's unnecessary. That's my fault. That's on me. That's on me. That's my bad.
Wild.
He said, "People kicking in soon."
uh, anyway,
Anyways, moving on.
let's talk some basketball. We're gonna talk some more football here in a little bit. Let's talk some basketball.
C's. Yeah,
We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
Okay.
Oh, we absolutely will get to them because they're playing some.
I
good
know we're
basketball.
going to talk about the Suns, and I know this is the Suns, Arizona sports podcast, but like we got to talk about them.
Okay, so we haven't talked about any Arizona sports teams in like 2 months.
We just talked about the Diamondbacks last episode. We just talked about them.
It was like 2 minutes because they made a big trade.
We talked about it.
God, I need some new friends. Anyways, okay, real quick. We will be talking about the Celtics because those boys are playing very well without their best player, and so they need to get some attention, some light shined on them. But some big news around the NBA yesterday. Jimmy Butler, the Warriors forward, tore his ACL yesterday. He will miss the remainder of the season and possibly some of next season. And a lot of people think now, of course, the Warriors are not the Thunder, and they're not Minnesota or even Denver. But a lot of people think you get them in the playoff series, they would be a very, very tough out. D'Lo, when you look at the impact Jimmy Butler had on this team, I think I saw the record the other day with when Jimmy Butler and Steph play, they're like 42-18. And when you look at their chances now without Jimmy Butler, I mean, maybe could you still trade Jonathan Kuminga? Who knows? How much of a hit was this to the Warriors and their championship chances?
Huge. And I think Jimmy was starting to find his foot again. Jimmy is one of the smartest basketball players in the NBA, and he knows how to get to his spots and really score at will. And I think at times he just kind of doesn't have the passion to do it. I think is the best way to put it, because it's like sometimes he'll realize that he's getting paid a lot of money and he is more than likely the second best player on the floor, and then there are other times where he's just like, let me get some cardio in, and it's just hard to know which one you're getting. Come playoff time, it's typically the former, but during the regular season, it kind of just varies. And so I feel like he was starting to, find a good balance of being in between. And now it's just gone. Obviously, the ACL is done. And the Warriors, they just have no shot at this point. Steph is doing literally everything he can, but the roster around him is just, it's not good at all, really. First off, can we get Pods off the team? I'm still not a fan of Pods.
He might be the most useless basketball. Other than Rudy Gobert, he might be the most useless basketball player.
I don't understand what they see in him, but no, I mean, who's the second best at that point? Is it Kuminga? Is it Draymond? Like, who is it? I don't know. And obviously Kuminga wants out, and I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. I think they drop, realistically. I don't think that they have enough.
Yeah, they could. And I mean, Kyson, Jimmy Butler specifically, D'Lo kind of mentioned his attitude, for lack of a better word. Sometimes, he comes to the gym and he's ready to score 35, 40 points. And then there's other times where, like he said, he's just kind of getting cardio. He's the fifth man on the court. Do you think Jimmy Butler could hang it up after this? He's 36. He's going to be 37 if he does decide to come back. When you look at Jimmy Butler's career and his injury history, could this be it for Jimmy Butler?
I don't think so. I don't think he is the type of player to just give up and hang it up. He's definitely going to try to come back and give it his best shot. Now, whether it be on the Warriors or not, I think that's a different question for a different day. But as of this season, man, the Warriors are cooked. And as D'Lo said, Jimmy was starting to find his footing, but in my personal opinion, I don't think they were going to make the playoffs. They were primed for playing spot ninth, 10th seed, and now they're really um lost. And the question is, what is Steph going to do? Is Steph going to keep trying to play 40 minutes a game and will this team to wins, victories, or is he going to find something wrong with him and shut it down for the season too? I mean, who knows? I mean, I think we'll have to see how the rest of the month goes and see if this team is actually building momentum or something. I mean, I think there's got to be a clear direction for Steph to go ahead and put his body on the line. Obviously, we got All-Star Weekend coming up and um, things of that nature. But if I'm Steph and I don't see us getting a streak going, getting a 5-game winning streak, beating up on bad teams, then I might just shut it down after All-Star or shut it down before. I mean, who knows? I mean, Steph is another player, not just going to give up and call it quits. But you got to think about your future. You got to think about your body. And Jimmy, going back to him, he's not the type of player to think about that. He's a crash dummy. I think he's going to try to go till he's 40, and he's also money hungry. He's on a 2-year, $120 million deal. So he's going to try to fulfill that and then try to get another maybe 15, $20 million deal after that. This is a kid is a man that grew up rough. Didn't have his parents in his life, got adopted, went to JUCO, worked his way up to a D1 college, went second round or late first round, whichever one. And he's not going to stop now. So I don't think this is the end for Jimmy Butler, but I do think this is the end for the Warriors for this season.
Tone, when you look at this injury for Jimmy Butler, again, I asked Kyson because I thought it'd be an interesting conversation because of the history that Jimmy Butler has kind of shown on and off the court. But do you think this could be Jimmy Butler's out of the NBA and onto retirement? And what does this do for the Warriors' chances? Could, like Kyson said, Steph shut it down, or and just kind of hope and wait till next season? What do you think is the future look like of this season for the Warriors and Jimmy Butler?
As far as Jimmy goes, I think he'll have to wait to see what type of trades are made throughout the season. I completely agree with Twin said. It's where the Warriors end up at the end of the season. If they have a pretty good draft pick, then maybe he stays. Maybe he looks to get better and remain a Warrior. But it doesn't look good for the Warriors' future. I don't know what they'll be able to get for Kuminga. He wants out, so I doubt he'll even want to play. I'm sure he's going to get a call. I'm sure he's going to get several calls throughout the next week of, bro, we need you to come in and make yourself valuable. But why would he do that? Because then he could get hurt and depreciate his trade value. It doesn't look good for Jimmy as far as from where I sit. He's had chances. He's been so close to the promised land that I'm sure he smelled the championship, but it just got away from him. And he's one of those guys, like a Carmelo Anthony, that he's gotten a lot of respect in the league. But how valuable is that respect when you don't have the chip? When you don't have the actual gold basketball on top of whatever that thing is. I definitely wonder what happens. I personally don't think he should come back because I would hate to see him in a situation where he's around a bunch of young guys that aren't competing. Jimmy seems like the type of guy, kind of like what Lowe said. He has those ups and downs throughout the season, and I don't think he would respect the game in the same fashion that we've seen in the past if he's not playing for something. As far as the Warriors go, I think that's a poop show right now. Um, I agree with Kyson that I would, if I'm Steph, I'd find an injury. They're likely not going to make the playoffs. Maybe make the play-in. That's a huge maybe. Um, but I'd head towards the tanking street and try to get one of those top five, at least a top 10 pick. Because this is going to be a good draft. This is going to be a good draft, and you'll may be able to get something valuable out of it. But it's nasty, man, because the West has gotten a lot better in the past 2 or 3 years, and watching guys like Jimmy, like Steph, just playing basketball just doesn't seem right. You know, you want those guys to be playing for something valuable. Right now, Kevin Durant's looking like somebody who played chess and not checkers. He has a chance to compete, and watching Steph go out like this would be nasty work, man. But who knows? Kuminga, they may be able to get somebody like MPJ over there sooner than later. Then maybe they can make a run. But I still don't even know what type of use that is if you just make the play-in and then don't get a good draft pick.
When it comes to Jimmy Butler, I think there's two ways. I think there's two ends of a spectrum on what could happen with Jimmy Butler. It's either he hangs it up and he decides, you know what, I'm going to be a family man, I'm going to be a father, I'm going to be a boyfriend, husband, whatever his situation may look like, and I'm going to settle down and be a family man. Or he comes back from his ACL and he's better than he was before he went out. I don't think there's any gray area. I don't think he comes back and it just kind of looks like the Jimmy Butler that he is now. I think he either comes back and he looks even better than what he does look like right now, or he hangs it up and decides to become a family man. I don't think there's any gray area in between, and I think both are very likely. Do I know which one is going to happen? I'm leaning more towards him coming back and being better, but I still very much think retirement is a possibility for him because he is 36. And by the time he comes back from his injury, he's going to be 37. So this is really one of those odd situations in which what do you want to do, both as a basketball player, as a man? This is a big decision. And for the Warriors, yeah, it's now the trade deadline is coming up next month. There's not much time until the trade deadline, so I guess maybe you could go make a move. But again, you could trade Kuminga. I don't know how much you're going to get back. I brought up the idea of Kuminga going to the Trailblazers for a guy like Jeremy Grant, who could come in and get you some buckets, play a little defense, and kind of fit in around Steph and Draymond and all those boys. But it's going to be tough for the Warriors to compete in the West with the competition that is in the West. I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now. No team in the 1 through 10 seeds right now over the last 10 games has gone below 500. Every single team, 1 and 10, has gone 5-5 or better in their last 10 games. And that just shows you the competition in the West. And so they're in the 8 seed right now. They're a game back, a few games back of the Lakers. And it's going to be tough for them to compete with any of these teams in the West, just because they don't have the firepower. Jimmy Butler was that secondary gun. You know, in Call of Duty, when you got your main weapon and then you press triangle or Y and bring out that second gun when you run out of ammo. There's no ammo in that gun. In fact, they're just ballistic knives. You don't like that. There's nothing there now. And Jimmy Butler was that secondary weapon for the Warriors, and now it's gone. And I don't know, even if you bring in all the guys, whether it's Moses Moody and Pods and Santos and Quentin Post, and if you bring in those guys and help them as a community be a second option, maybe. But again, I don't see them competing with the Spurs or the Nuggets or the Rockets or the Timberwolves. Like those teams are way, way, way better than the Warriors right now. And it was going to be tough to compete with them with Jimmy Butler. And now that you don't have Jimmy Butler, I can't imagine they go and compete. And so, who knows? Maybe they shut Steph down when it's all said and done after the All-Star break. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, let's take a look at some more of these comments. Papadano, some Devin Booker love. Devin Booker, he put his he did recently just pass Steve Nash in the all-time points So shout out Book, shout out D Book. It's my guy, man. It's a great guy. Played very well tonight. And then W4389 says, "Hear me out. Josh Allen pukes before games and has anxiety. He needs a therapist. Mental health is real." I haven't heard that. I'm not saying it's not true.
He said it before multiple times.
Oh, has he? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I've never heard that. So that's honestly news to me. That also may be the case. And now we like to preach mental health a lot here on this show. So it'll be if he does need help, I hope he's able to get that help. I mean, it's being an NFL quarterback is not easy, especially being one of the best. It's not easy.
I don't know if that's due to mental health. I think he's just nervous. Which I don't know.
Pressure.
Could be attached to it.
Yeah.
But,
no,
sure.
some of his turnovers would be like, bro, what are you doing?
I think he's just trying to be super at times.
Like, I'm watching the game, and right before halftime, again, I know I've continued to bring this up, but he's carrying the ball like this. Like, he's just holding the ball like it's a loaf of bread instead of putting it in his arm and making sure that he doesn't fumble the ball. And he fumbled the ball, and they gave up 3 points. So he's got to be better. Josh Allen has to be better. Gucci said, without their best player, I believe he's talking about the Celtics, and Brown ate him. I think he's talking about the Celtics, and we're going to talk about them here in a little bit. But so I'm sorry, that's a little preview of our conversation coming up.
These East fans got to cut it out.
Kevin is also pertaining to our Jimmy Butler situation. We all remember the story of Jimmy Butler and Rachel Nichols in the bubble. So maybe that's who he's shacking up with after the season. So when he retires, it's none of my business. But hey, teach his own.
I'm gonna just say this: Jimmy Butler is not a good person. Hell of a basketball player, but from the reports I've read and his personal life,
they said bro was trying to go to the Phoenix Suns just so he didn't have to pay his baby moms a lot of taxes or a lot of child support. I was like, yo, that's wild.
Just do it. Just do what Anthony Edwards did. Pay child support in advance.
Yeah, but he was not. He didn't even want to pay them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. It's like
them
kids.
See, okay, Kyson, I absolutely would not be surprised if that was the case. That seems like, and watching the starting five on Netflix, I don't know if you guys have all watched it when it was Jimmy Butler. It's hard to argue against that case. It's really tough. Gucci said, why they even signed Kuminga back for? That's a good question. I don't know why. Maybe they thought they could sign him back and get him and get something for him, but it looks like they're not even going to get anything for him, let alone trade him, because Jimmy Butler went down, and they're going to need some sort of firepower. It doesn't make any sense to me either. Like, I don't know what to do with Jonathan Kuminga now. And then Kevin said the Warriors drafting Koa Pete. That'd be really interesting, because if Koa Pete goes to the Warriors, Draymond Green might be on his way out.
I think Draymond, regardless. I think this is his last year as a Warrior.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't seen the way him and Steve Kerr keep going at it every other night.
Yeah, they go at it a lot. Yeah, they continuously are arguing. So yeah, that's not a very good look. Yeah, not a very good look at all for Draymond Green and the Warriors. Okay, let's get back to some football. We mentioned Josh Allen. I want to talk about another quarterback who has played well in the playoffs before, but might have had the worst single playoff of any quarterback I have ever seen. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud obviously won another playoff game this year. That was his third straight year winning a playoff game. This year looked a lot different than the previous two. He turned the ball over 7 times. 7 times. And he was not good. And I think if you throw 15 other quarterbacks in the position that CJ Stroud was in this game against the Patriots, I think Texans go win that game. And so, Kyson, when you look at the way that CJ Stroud played, and obviously he's just in year 3. He's just in year 3. But a lot of guys, as we all know, after year 3, those quarterbacks are looking for those big paydays in the offseason. They're looking for those big extensions. So, Kyson, if you were the Texans, Would you pay CJ Stroud after the season?
I definitely wouldn't pay him. I'll put him on the option and make him play out his whole rookie contract and prove to me that he's taking the game serious. Um, Look, we know. Let's just call it the obvious. How many teams have legit offensive lines, right? And along with the offensive line, how many teams got offensive lines along with the legit quarterback? So it's not that many. It's just not that many. So when you're talking about the Texans, we all know that their offensive line hasn't been good, and obviously they're working to get it better. They've lost some major pieces, been trying to replace them with rookies, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, as a quarterback, you got to be able to improve, read defenses, know what you're dealing with your O line, and as a coach for D'Amico Ryan and his OC, you got to realize that your O line also isn't that good. We can't be having CJ Stroud drop back 3-4 seconds, having these long developing routes, Nico Collins running posts, just these routes that take time, and we don't have the time up front. So I think it's a combination of just miscommunication between coaching and the quarterback right now. And I think right now the Texans are in need of an offensive mind inside the building. They need somebody to get inside CJ's head and build trust within each other and let him know, like, man, like you're a beast, but you need to do this and that and the third. I think that he got too gassed up in his first year. I mean, there's clips of this guy saying he was top five quarterback in his rookie year. Like, no, you just no. He had a good year, but top five, like, what are we doing? And last year we gave him grace because it was his sophomore year, but this year it was just like he had some flashes of good games. And as a Ravens fan, he killed us. That was his best game of the season by far. But other than that, he was mediocre. And then in the playoffs, he was straight up bad. So he's got to be better about getting serious. I mean, he's got to be serious about getting better. And so does the organization. They got to surround this guy with top tier talent in terms of coaching and actual, talent. And again, CJ, he's got to take this serious, man. This is for real. But to answer your question, Jamal, no, I will not pay him this year. I'll put him on the option. I'll make him play out the whole 5-year rookie year deal or however long it is, and make him prove himself to ourselves.
D'Lo, and I agree with a lot of what Kyson said. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. So if you accept CJ Stroud's 5th-year option, right? You don't give him that big extension this offseason. Is he still your franchise guy? Is this still the guy you want as the face of your franchise for the next 10, 11, 12 years after what you've seen in these playoffs and the last few years as a whole?
Yes, maybe. I don't know. CJ Stroud is sort of in this gray area, and it might just be like a trend because we can talk about it. CJ Stroud really good the first year, second year hit the slump, and now third year. mm. But we look at a guy like Bryce Young, awful the first year, got benched, and then second year at the end of the year looked really good. Third year had some ups and downs, and now a lot of people would probably consider taking Bryce Young over CJ Stroud, which if you would have said that in the first year, you would have been called crazy. And then same thing just last year, Jaden Daniels had one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen from a quarterback, and then look at his sophomore year. And Caleb Williams made a lot of mistakes his first rookie year, and then his sophomore year, look at him. He almost went to the NFC Championship game. So uh, it's like I don't have a good answer to the question because I think there's just a lot of fundamental issues with the Texans as a whole, but I think the main part is CJ Stroud, and he has some mental block, um, particularly when it comes to protection. He does not trust the O line at all. And you saw it. There were times where he should have scrambled and he didn't. And there were times where he didn't need to scramble, but he did. Uh, and I don't know if that's just a lack of pocket awareness or if it's a lack of trust or maybe it's both. Because ever since that first year, we thought that they were going to bolster the line and give him protection, and then they didn't. And they sort of threw everything into the defense, and now he's here. So I think that throwing the ball, he's fine, but there's something going on, especially in the mental side, where something is just not clicking. So it's just a hard question to answer. I'm going to say yes for right now, only because I just don't know if there are better options available for you right now. But if he has another year of what we've seen, I mean, I feel like it's hard to not move off of him.
Tone, this is the guy that your team just beat. Your boys made this guy look like a absolute like below average quarterback. I mean, because he's looked like an average quarterback. He hasn't really been great. He hasn't been really, really bad, but he's kind of been average. Your boys made him look like a really, really bad quarterback who turned the ball over 4 times or 3 times, whatever it was, or 4 times it was in one half, let alone the whole game. Is CJ Stroud the guy that the Texans should stick with after seeing his performance this year?
I think there's a conversation to be had. I don't think he deserves a max contract per se. It would depend on what other options they have. Like you said, he's been average or slightly above average, and if you can't find anything better, then what else? What other moves do you make? You need a quarterback. If you find some other pieces to make him more valuable, then it may work out. Because I think we've all seen him. He's made some big plays before. He's had some great games. It just if you want to pay somebody that much money, you want them to make those plays when it counts. And he obviously didn't do that this year. I think something has to be said about the level of cockiness that he's exemplified in the past. And I hate to pat my guy on the back, but there's something to be said about humbleness. Like when you watch Drake May after a game, even when we won that game, there was like zero reaction from him because I feel like he knows it's almost like the Mamba. What am I gonna be happy for? It's not job not done. You know what I'm saying? And certain people, they win a playoff game and they react as though it's a championship. Those are not the guys you want to pay that type of money. You know what I'm saying? Because they're actually happy with mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? In a league full of professionals and competitors that are competing for the rings, he doesn't seem like he's ring bound right now. And so why pay him ring type caliber money? But I remember that conversation that Kyson was talking about when he started putting himself in the top 5. It's a little too early for you to even be having those type of conversations, knowing that everyone in the league is going to see that because now you're a target. Every other quarterback is going to try to make an example out of you when they play against you. And I'm sure they're talking to the D line like, yo, y'all seen that interview? Yeah. All right, get him. And again, your coaches, your teammates, if you don't meet that criteria, they're shaking their heads behind closed doors in the locker room. Every time you walk out, they're whispering. And again, that just leads to bad habits and bad communication within the locker room. And you're the head of the snake. You're you're supposed to be the leader of men in a certain way. Besides the coach, you're supposed to be the coach when he's not around, and that just doesn't exemplify good characteristics.
Yeah, the thing with CJ Stroud is he had so much success so early. I mean, he was the obvious best player in that draft his rookie year. Everybody looked at the Panthers and said, "Oh my God, you traded this, and that to trade for Bryce Young when you could have drafted CJ Stroud, who was very, very good his rookie year." And I think his mindset his rookie year was, I need to go out and prove to everybody. I need to go out and prove I'm that guy. I'm better than Bryce Young. I should have been taken number 1 overall. I should have won the Heisman. I should have been this. People should be talking about me like that. And he came out and proved everybody in his rookie year he was that dude. And then, like you guys mentioned, it got to his head that offseason. Oh, I'm a top 5 quarterback. Oh, it's me, Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts. And he put himself into that class with those guys. What CJ Stroud needs to do is he needs to revert back to the mentality of, I need to prove myself. I need to prove myself. And it's not exactly, I need to prove all these people wrong who are saying that, I'm not no good anymore, or I peaked already. It's, he needs to revert to the mindset of, I need to prove myself right. I need to prove to myself that I am that guy. I can go win my team a playoff game or 2. I can take my team to the Super Bowl. There's a reason why these people should pay me as the franchise quarterback, as the face of the Houston Texans. I need to go out and prove that once again, because what he looks like, it looks like he got satisfied. It looks like he got content with his rookie year. Oh, I went out and I had a really good rookie year. I'm only going to get better. But he didn't put the work in to get better. And that's what it's looked like to me. And it's looked like that in his second year, and it for sure looked like that in his third year. And he needs to go back to proving himself, because that was the mindset he had his rookie year. I mean, D'Lo, I believe you mentioned it. It looked like in the pocket, he doesn't know what to do. He looks finicky in the pocket. He's quick to get out of and move in the pocket. And again, we've seen what he's capable of. His rookie year is not the best he can be. He was really good his rookie year. That's not the best he can be. But again, it's the mindset of, he needs to go back to that mindset of, I need to prove myself. I need to prove myself, not just every year, but every single week, every single game. And he just, again, looks like to me he got content with his rookie year, and he said, I was pretty good. I don't think I need to do much more. So that
quick question. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say.
Oh, my bad, Kyson. Go ahead.
No, real quick. I just want to say this. I don't want to hear, when Davis Mills was in the backup, it looked different. It looked different because of the mindset, not because of the play calling. The mindset. Again, CJ think he one of them boys, so he's dropping back. So what we about to do, Nico? You open yet? No. When you don't have the line for that, you don't have the skills for that. It's just not time for that. Davis Mills gets sent. He knows, okay, I have 1, 2, 3. Get rid of it. Okay, I have to do this. I have to follow the principles and the rules that were set in the offense in training camp. I have to, or else I'm benched. CJ's comfortable. He know, man, I got Davis Mills on the bench. I'm good. Nobody's taking my spot. I was rookie of the year. He's very comfortable, and the Texans, they got to do something about that immediately.
That's the perfect word for it, I think, guys. Comfortable. That's the perfect word. He's comfortable. There's no pressure. There's no one sneaking up behind him saying, oh, if you don't mess up, or I'm taking that spot. There's nobody putting that pressure on him. I think comfortable is a perfect word, Tom.
Oh, did y'all see the video of bro before the game with the basketball and the is that AI or is that real?
No. So he's been doing that since college. So like for whatever reason, his warm up is just
man's throwing
the basketball in the air.
Fake throwing a towel, swinging a golf club. Oh, come on, man.
But I mean, that was even a big thing during his rookie year of his odd his oddity warm-ups. Like he was, with the towel thing, he was. Now the towel I understand. The towel because the towel obviously is a lot light, maybe not lighter than a football, but it shows your follow through. And so when you're throwing the football, and so obviously when you throw your football, you want to make sure you follow through all the way to get all the power that you need.
Dribbling like he's Steph though.
The basketball, I don't know.
Lock in.
The basketball, I don't know, but I don't know what's going on with the basketball. That is the wrong sport, my friend. And this that's CJ Stroud. Once again, hold on. Let's get to some of these comments again. Kevin said, now this is something I'm surprised none of us brought up, but that moment between CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams is not a very good look. Now they made it. Their teams made it to the same spot, and they lost in the same spot. But are they the same players that they were during that moment? Their career trajectories have gone in the complete opposite direction. Papa Nano said, send CJ Stroud to the Cardinals. I'll take him. You think I won't take him after watching him throw 4 picks in the first half? You dead wrong. I will take him on the Cardinals.
Yeah, just make sure you go get his basketball.
Yeah, you see, there you go. Hey, if the basketball does what he did in his rookie year, I'll take it. You can go out there. Hey, you can go out there and play 18 if you want to. Just go win us a football game. Goodness gracious. Kevin said they also need a run game. They were able to run the ball effectively against Pittsburgh. Woody Marks is a good player. Their rookie running back. I like Woody Marks, and so hopefully he gets better in his second year. They brought Nick Chubb in, who just looks like old Nick Chubb instead of the old Nick Chubb. So maybe they bring him back, maybe they don't. But yeah, I think they have a good rookie running back, good young running back in Woody Marks.
They need Mixon back.
That's right. Yeah, Joe Mixon. Man. He got hurt in like week 2 or week 3?
No, he didn't play at all.
He didn't play at all.
Oh,
he had some lingering like foot issue or something along the lines.
Man.
And he just didn't play at all.
Man, yeah, I completely forgot about it. Wow, that completely skipped my mind. That's right. Joe Mixon has missed the whole season. Yeah, and he was big for them last year. He was huge. And then here we go with the Patriots stuff, man. Oh, God. And of course, it looks like they're going to go to the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, man, Drake May, whatever. And then, yeah, the clip of CJ Stroud kind of trolling the Steelers fans on the way out.
As he should.
Yep. The Steelers fans kind of suck. I hate the Steelers because they took any happiness away that I could have had. So,
speaking of, I'm glad the Rams won because I could not take the Bears fans.
Bears fans. Okay, listen. There's a lot of fans that suck, right? The Steelers fans suck. Bears fans, they could be pretty bad. There are no worse fans than Philadelphia Eagles fans in any sport. Eagles fans are the worst. In any sport, they're the worst people that have ever touched the face of this earth. I just want to throw that out there. And well, Kevin said Jets fans are really bad. Well, you're a Patriots fan, so of course Jets fans are going to be bad.
The 3 of them?
Huh?
They got 3 of them.
All 3 of them? That's true. I don't know if I've ever met. I think I know one Jets fan. I work with. I think I know.
I know one, and he's a family member. Ain't never been in New York, but he's a damn Jets fan.
All right, the moment I have not been waiting for. Let's talk some basketball. And Tone, your team has looked pretty good. Okay, I'll say.
Hold on, much. Nah, I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah,
Rockets just won against the Spurs, baby.
The big dub.
Yeah, that's a big win. Especially, I don't know if you guys saw the beginning of that game, but it took them like 30 minutes to fix to try and fix the rim, and that was insane. But they did eventually fix the rim, and the Rockets did come out with the dub. And you know what? Maybe maybe we'll get to them here in a few minutes because I think this Western Conference is going to be insane this season, especially down the stretch. But Tone, we owe your Celtics a conversation because they're playing some pretty good basketball. They are 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're 26-16 overall, and that makes them second overall in the Eastern Conference. And of course, They don't have their best player in Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown has looked very, very, very good this year, and I think should be in the conversation for MVP, just maybe top 5 in terms of that conversation for MVP. Maybe sneaks into the top 3 with Jokic getting hurt, but he's been very, very good this year. So, you know what, Tone, we'll finish the not the conversation, but we'll finish the go around with you. But D'Lo, when you look at the Celtics, and I know this is your favorite team, I know that you love talking about the Boston Celtics. So I'll start with you. The peak for this team, because I don't know when and if Jason Tatum will be coming back this season, but it doesn't look like they've needed him too much so far. Now, again, Jay, you're always, when you come down the stretch in the playoffs, you're going to need Jason Tatum. You're not going to win anything without him. But say he doesn't come back this year, and say that they go into the playoffs with the roster that they currently have constructed. What is the peak for this team who is in the 2nd seed of the East without their best player?
Probably say they're looking 2nd round ish exit in my opinion. Okay, so then take this with a grain of salt, because I hate the Celtics as a Heat fan. But to me, when it comes to the playoffs, it's very easy to hone in on one particular player and sort of try and neutralize that player. And if you're Boston, that's JB. And before it was, JT, and then JB would go and do his thing. And you kind of had this sort of dynamic where you had that 1-2 punch. And JB is good enough to go and still get you 25 a night, even with that sort of focus on him. With that said, I just don't know if they have enough around them to get over some of the other teams that are out in the East. Detroit, uh, New York, who was in the conference finals last year. There are just a handful of teams that I just see like I would pick them in a 7-game series over Boston, specifically for the supporting cast. And although they've been really good, I feel like they've been sort of not carried, but more like flung on the back of Jaylen Brown. And so just I don't see that happening in the playoffs. And I think that they could definitely win 1st-round series, especially against those teams that are in the play-in, us included. I hate saying that, dude. I hate saying it. But after that, when they face, top 4 seeded teams, I don't know if they have enough.
Kyson, when you look at this team, and again, we're just kind of going off of what they have right now. Now, they could go make some moves at the trade deadline, maybe get another big in there to play with Keita. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. But right now, without Jason Tatum, they are the 2nd seed in the East. What's the peak for this team without Jason Tatum? Because once again, we don't know if and when he comes back this season, but say he doesn't. Can this team make a run to the finals? Can they beat Detroit? Can they beat the Knicks? What's the ceiling for this team without Jason Tatum?
Man, this might sound crazy, but man, I can see the Celtics getting to the conference finals of the strength that they have the experience. For the leaders, Derek White, Pritchard, JB, the guys that have been there year in and year out, even Tillmans of the world, they've been there. They know how to play, they know how to win games, they know how to play down the stretch. They understand that these games in the beginning of the season are super high paced, but right now we're in the dead smack middle of the season. They're gonna be a lot more slower paced games. We just witnessed Rockets and Spurs 110 and 104. That's in today's NBA, that's a low scoring game. Teams were scoring 130, 140 a couple months back. So they understand that. And the Celtics have JB. They have a great coach. They have culture, and I think something that we overlooked when JT was hurt was he went on first take and he let Stephen A know like we play to a certain standard. We play at a certain degree, whether I'm out there, whether JB's out there, so on and so forth. My only knock for the Celtics is to D'Lo's point, they do go as JB steps. So basically, if JB takes a step, they're right behind him. You know, they're definitely moving off his beat, and he's having an MVP season. He's having that PG year. What PG was top three in MVP votes, defensive player of the year caliber. Um, that 2019 season he had. That's the reminiscent season JB's having this year, and it's been impressive. How long can he keep it up? If he can stay healthy, I can definitely see JB carrying his team to the conference finals. And also because the East is a little bit weak right now. A lot of new teams still trying to get their feet under them. Um, a lot of mediocrity going on right now. Atlanta, they kind of gambled trading Trey Young. Orlando still trying to get the kinks worked out. Toronto has looked good, but do I believe in BI being their best player or him and Scotty sharing that 1A 1B? Not necessarily. I think the Celtics, well, the Pistons, I mean, obviously they're the best team. I think they're head and shoulders the best team in the East right now. But with that being said, the Celtics, they know their roles. They've been there, done that. And that's what we've seen in the past few years. That's what gets you to the NBA finals. That's what gets you to these championships is experience. So with that being said, I think the Celtics can definitely reach the conference finals with the state of the Eastern Conference right now. And if I'm them, I'm not bringing JT back at all this year, like at all. I think he kind of throws a wrench in what's going on right now. Now let's say from this point forward, knock on wood, I don't wish this on Tone's team, but they're going to losing streak. They're going to losing streak, and they just cannot find their groove. They get down to 26 and 22. Do they say, "Hey JT, how you looking? Like, what's going on? You think you'd be back by March?" Or you know, but I think if they can keep winning, stay consistent, they think they're on pace for like 53 wins or something like that. If they can keep that trajectory up, I would just keep JT sidelined.
All right, Tone. You got the Boston Celtics chain in the background. You what's without JT? That's your boy. Without Jason Tatum, the finals. Okay, I genuinely was gonna say Finals MVP. I was not joking. I forgot he did not win Finals MVP, but I I genuinely forgot that. What's the peak for this team without Jason Tatum? Say he doesn't touch the floor for this season. What's the peak for Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics?
Yeah, it's tough to say conference finals. Although I would love to, um, it would depend on who we play, honestly, because I do think I'd have to agree with Kyson. There's a level of experience needed for the playoffs. We have, to me, a top two, possibly three coach in the league, and Joe Mazzulla can drop a hell of a play if needed. Um, we run a great system over there. I believe in Derek White. I think you guys have heard me say some controversial things about Derek White. I believe in him. I believe that he's a great third option, and some nights he's the fourth option because Peyton Pritchard takes over. I mean, in this system that we're running right now, he's the second option, and I believe in Derek White. He's had a stellar year. Um, I personally think JT will be back. I think that we do need him. Um, in the beginning of the season, I was kind of harsh on my guys because we were lacking rebounding, and we really needed it. Kata has stepped up. Jordan Walsh is getting more playing time. He stepped up. I actually love Jordan Walsh's game. I know y'all have heard me say that dude's name before as well. I think that it's great that those guys are getting this early season experience. They've had some meaningful games last night, although we lost. I think that was a playoff preview game. JB locked in on Cade, although Cade had some phenomenal assists. He had like 14, 15 dimes. He didn't shoot very well from the field. So it was just speaking to JB's two-way level of success he's had this year, and I think he'll continue to do that. But I do think we will need JT if we want to compete in the playoffs. There's a level of playmaking that JB to me hasn't reached yet. That JT he did for us that championship year. But JB, man, I think this speaks to why he won the Finals MVP. He's been holding it down. He's a great closer. He did miss that game-winning shot last night, but he's that dude, man. JB is a problem. JT just if you go watch some of the highlights from a couple years ago, he's clutch, man. He's one of the more clutch players in the NBA, and that is needed to win big playoff games. There's a reason why we beat the Bucks. There's a reason why we beat Philly. There's a reason why we beat Miami after they got us. D-Lo, we know they got us the year before. We know that. But there's a reason why.
I didn't say it.
I was wondering where that was going to go.
Just saying. Didn't say it. Wasn't me.
But no, I think we do need JT. I think that's a great point that Kyson made, though. But there's only so many times that you can get to the promised land, and there's no reason that you don't. If we're gonna get close to that promised land, there's no reason JT shouldn't gamble. Because I'm telling you, like, I really appreciate it, and I'm sure you guys hate me for it, but I appreciate being from the city of champions. Like, I've been able to see every single team from the town have a parade, and I'm not trying to throw no shade on my guy, but
No, you are.
nah, because I
Here we
grew up a
go.
Suns
You couldn't
fan.
just talk about your teams. You had to bring mine into it. You had to. You can't bring.
I grew up
There
a
you go. How
Suns
you gonna bring
fan.
yourself
I
up and put me
cried when
down?
Kevin Johnson, when Mike beat Kevin Johnson, I was in tears, like literal tears. I was a kid. There's a level of appreciation that you give the guys that come and play hard for your city. You know what I'm saying? And JT he's come to the town and done that. He's been one of the players that wore green and put the town on his back. I can't belittle the feeling that you get from being at the parade. I've been at several of them. And so there's only so many times that you get to, there's only so many opportunities. And you don't want to waste those. And so I would assume that JT, if he has the conversation with the guys and they're like, yo, we need you. He gotta come back and play, dog. Like this.
We get it, Tone. You've been happy before. I you think I've ever experienced happiness? All my teams are horrible.
Yeah,
My teams are. Okay, listen. That was a great point you made. I just feel like you didn't have to. I feel like the point would have been just as good without you poo-pooing on my teams. So
I'm trying to motivate them, man. I know you got a lot of people who are in certain circles, so maybe they'll plug and then they can see this and be like, okay, that's how he feels, and then they use it for motivation.
I hope so. Jesus. No. On a serious note, the Celtics. A couple takeaways. Now, Tone, you kind of read my mind on one of the takes. I don't know conference finals. I think I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't bet on it. Do they get to the second round? I do believe they get to the second round because I'm looking at these standings. I don't think they lose to Miami or Chicago or Atlanta. Maybe if Milwaukee sneaks into the play-in and sneaks into the playoffs, they can give them a run for their money without Jason Tatum. And Giannis is healthy. Maybe they'll give them a run for their money. That's the only team I can see actually putting up a fight in that 7 to 10 range in the East. And then they're going to run into a team like Detroit, like Philly, if they're healthy, like the Knicks. And so I don't know if they have the firepower needed to go out and beat one of those basketball teams in a 7-game series. The other thing is Joe Mazzulla, like you said, Tone, is a top 2 to 3 coach in the NBA. And him by himself can win you a playoff series, putting the guys in their right situations to go make plays and win a basketball game. He is a fantastic coach. He's a phenomenal play designer. He gets his guys open and he gets his guys in the right position to be successful. So my other thing though, there's an X factor on this team, Tone. There's an X factor on this team that could go win you a game, but also could very much help you lose a game. That X factor's name is Anthony Simons. That was your big trade. That was your big trade acquisition in the offseason. Anthony Simons, you knew Jason Tatum was going to be out for at least a majority of the season, and so you need a guy that can go score. Derek White can go score, but is he the scorer that Anthony Simons is? I don't believe so. Is Peyton Pritchard now? Peyton Pritchard is kind of closer to Anthony Simons. I still think Anthony Simons is a little bit more balanced offensively, in terms of going to go get a bucket, maybe not shooting wise. But Anthony Simons is going to be that key piece because the other night you guys lost to the Pistons. He wasn't very good offensively. He shot 1 for 6 from 3, 4 of 11 from field goal from the field. Tone, what do you always preach? Defense. Anthony Simons couldn't stop a runny nose. He is not a good defender. And I'm looking at, plus minus is a big thing with me. Anthony Simons had the worst plus minus on the team by far. He was a minus 13 in 25 minutes. So he can go win you a basketball game, or he could very much go lose you a basketball game. Because when you look at that defense, now, in terms of the Celtics starters, there's not really anybody you can go hunt out. Maybe Sam Hauser, but even he's a pretty decent defender. When Anthony Simons comes in the game, Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Brunson, give me Anthony Simons. That's who I want guarding me. However we have to do it, make sure that he's defending me so we can go get a bucket. That's where your liability lies. And if Anthony Simons is not able to step up on both sides of the ball, this team will not make it very far. So I can also, like I said, I can see you guys go to the second round and possibly even the conference finals. But that guy, man, Anthony Simons, and I'm a big fan, but he has to be able to stop somebody. And I think that's where the problem lies right now with the Celtics. Okay, real quick. Let's talk about the West real quick. He came back tonight, okay? I want to talk about him a little bit. I'm sorry. Shoot me. Jalen Green made his return tonight. And after missing, he's played one game this season. And in that one game, he played very, very well. And he finally came back tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. We did win. The Suns did beat the Sixers 116-110. He didn't have a big game. He had 12 points on 2-4 from 3 and 4 of 11 from the field. Not a big game, but it's his first game back. He's getting some run with the team. D'Lo, the Suns right now are 27-17. They're 6th in the West. And again, in my opinion, probably the biggest surprise of the NBA this season. What is the peak for this team now that Jalen Green has been back? And again, knock on wood, Devin Booker has been healthy for a majority of the season. And Dylan Brooks has taken a step on both sides of the ball this year, especially offensively. And this team is pretty deep. What's the peak for the Phoenix Suns this year now that they have Jalen Green back?
First round exit. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I just don't know if they can climb any higher. What was that face for?
Unfortunate for who? I was expecting to be a 13 seed. A first round exit? If you asked me a first round playoff exit before the season start, I'd say you are a madman.
Oh. And guess what? It's unfortunate because, you're kind of stuck in the middle of no man's land, really, still. But, I mean, you guys are competitive, and I think that's the most that you could ask for, considering we thought you guys were. But they just don't have enough to beat the top teams, which is who they will play in the playoffs in a 7-game series. I'm pretty sure we all agree they can't beat the Thunder in a 7-game. They can't beat the Spurs in a 7-game. they can't beat the Nuggets in a 7 game, and those are the top of the West. And so realistically, that's their ceiling. But with that said, I also think their floor is the playoffs. With how they're playing right now, they could very well, win the play in. I think that they could, especially now that Golden State probably drops out. So I think that the floor is right about where their ceiling is, which is a good sign. But again, they've just still got other issues that I think that they need to address before they can even progress any further.
Tone, when you look at the addition of Jalen Green, and I mentioned the trade deadline earlier, I don't think the Suns are going to make any big moves. I think Jalen Green is their big acquisition at the trade deadline. They're getting Jalen Green back from injury. What could Jalen Green's impact look on this team, especially because they're 10 games over 500 halfway through the season? And they've done that without, in my opinion, their second best basketball player. And now that he's back, what could his impact look like on this team? And what could their ceiling be in the West?
Well, first, I'll pat myself on the back. And just want to say that I predicted you guys were going to win more games than last season.
Oh, hold on. I also did that. Oh, yeah. You know what? Speaking of which, I have in my notes real quick, not to interrupt you. Kyson and I actually had a bet on that. Kyson, I don't know if you remember. 36 wins. I have it in my notes. I don't remember what the bet was, but apparently I just didn't put that down. But yeah, it was some sort of bet.
Win against Kevin Durant.
You can keep going on.
Win against Kevin Durant.
See, there you go. See, there you go.
But no, I think that it's tough. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but it's tough because I think Lowe is speaking to something. And unless you guys can somehow turn one of your young players into a better veteran, you guys are stuck in that kind of good enough to not be garbage, but not great enough to contend spot, which is rough. Because you guys got a player like Devin Booker, who some would argue is the second best two guard in the league. And when you have a player of that level, you want to see him contend for, something valuable. And the past, 3 seasons, maybe even 4 seasons, he hasn't really gotten that chance. We all thought that Kevin Durant was going to be the one that moved that needle, and it just didn't pan out. I will say that I think Dylan Brooks may even be more valuable than Jalen Green. Now, I'm not saying that Jalen Green's not going to bring something to the table for the rest of the season, but I think Dylan Brooks is a leader in that locker room, and the way he's been able to average 15, 18 plus for you guys is just incredible because you guys needed that without Jalen Green. With Jalen Green coming back, you've got more of a playmaker, more of a creator, which enables the D-Book to cook a little bit more often than he has been, which is, I think, the right setting for the Phoenix Suns. Like, that's what you need DB to be, is what he was previously, a chef in the kitchen, not handing out the plates, not coming from the back handing out the plates. No, I'm the cook. Give me the recipe. I got it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he needs to be. And so I think that's what, when Jalen Green gets his footing with this, I'd say right around All-Star break, he'll probably be, 110% and really connected with the system. And it'll be better. But I really think that Dylan Brooks was the most valuable piece for you. He's that leader in the locker room. He's going to demand certain things out of the defensive players. He's going to bring that intensity, which is an influence on the court. And again, with him scoring actual buckets, that's an extra additive to that recipe. That's some extra sauce, some extra flavor. But I think I think it's going to be a worthy shakeup if you guys can make it into the playoffs. Man, all you need is for a guy like Dylan Brooks to get the right player on the right opponent, a little ruffled. Dylan DB the real DB Booker to go off on a run, and who knows what can happen. Again, Jalen Green was the leading scorer on the second place Houston Rockets last year. Let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like he can average 20, 23 points. And if he starts bringing something like that to the table with what you guys are already doing, who knows what can happen? We got a whole lot of the season left. If someone gets hurt on one of these other teams, then those standings look different. You guys could end up in the fifth spot, fourth spot. Like you never know. It's a lot left in the season, but I'm ready to see Devin Booker average 30. That's what I'm ready to see.
Me and you both. Me and you both. Now, Kyson, this is your former boy. This is Jalen Green. This is the guy that you traded for in order to get Kevin Durant. So I want to ask you, this is a two-parter. What impact could Jalen Green have on the Suns, having you been watched Jalen Green over the past few years and saw what he did for the Houston Rockets? So what impact could he have on the Suns coming back from injury? And is there a team in the West that you think the Suns could actually compete with? Maybe not beat, but make it an interesting series in the West.
Yeah, I think Jalen Green on the Suns is it's pretty decent because the Suns have held it down so far without him. And to Tom's point, credit to Dylan Brooks. He's brought coaches to the Suns. He's brought defensive tenacity to the Suns. And Jalen Green, all he really has to do is piggyback off of that. There's really no pressure on him like there was in Houston. Because honestly, in Houston, we compare him to Segun. Like, y'all drafted in the same draft class. We're not necessarily giving the team to Segun just yet. We're giving you a chance. Versus here, this is Devin Booker's team, straight up and straightforward. This is Devin Booker's team, and you just got to fall in line. So I think that's perfect for him. He's gonna thrive in that situation. But man, as for the Suns overall, it's tough because first of all, one of our first pods during this season, I mentioned the Suns, even when they were in a rocky phase. I mentioned them and I said they're surprising teams. They're competitive. They play hard. They're gonna make every game a fight. How long will that last? Can they do that for 82 games? Now, Tone just said it's a long season. We're already 42, 43 games in, which is just about the halfway point, and there's still 37, 38 games to go. The Suns are one injury away from completely falling apart. Whether it be Dylan Brooks, whether it be Devin Booker, or maybe they've shown they can go without Jalen Green. But what about the guys that's been stepping up and playing hard for these guys? I mean, Mark Williams, he's been phenomenal, and this is probably the most he's played in his career. Right? Knock on wood. Once again, we don't wish injuries on players, but I just don't see the Suns sustaining how they play.
I just don't see it. But they've been proving me wrong this whole season. Like this entire season, every time I watch them play, like even today, it's Sixers. I'm like, how do they get it done? Like how? They just work and work and work and work. So I definitely think that gets them in the play-in. I'm just I'm I'm on the fence of they got to stay healthy. One, two, how sustainable is their style of play going to be? And three, how does Jalen Green fit? I think he will fit great. I think if you keep the pressure off of him, make him, hey, when we get you the ball, do your thing, right? Don't overthink it. You don't gotta play make. You don't gotta facilitate. Hoop, because we got somebody to do that for us, right? Devin Booker. This is his team. Yeah, he knows what his responsibility is. Now, for you, Jalen Green, when you come in, it's free reign. It's kind of like what Jordan Poole had in Golden State. I'm not saying Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, by any means, but when Jordan Poole came in, it was ooh wee pool party. I'm about to just about to get off. So I think for Jalen Green, it's a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills, and the Suns believe in him. And I'm a fan, I've always been a fan of JG when he was in high school, and I wish the best for him. But for the Suns, it looks like they're going to win more than 36 games, barring something bizarre happen. But I just don't see how they play sustainable. With that being said, I see them definitely getting into the playoffs, 6 seed, maybe a 7 seed. I think they can give my Houston Rockets a run for their money, just because we're discombobulated right now. They don't like teams that play hard, and that we're low key developing a little rivalry, the chippiness, guys getting into it.
Yep.
We look forward to playing each other, obviously. So that would be a great series. I think the Timberwolves, that will also be a good series. Ant versus Book, role players versus role players. Um, the Suns are very surprising, but it's looking like JG should bring his team to the next level.
Yeah, I think Jalen Green, he's going to be huge for this team. I think the big thing when it comes to Jalen Green is there's going to be another scorer that can help this team out. And I Dylan Brooks has been really good offensively. Grayson Allen has been really good offensively. Colin Gillespie has also been really, really good offensively. But now you have Jalen Green, a guy who, like Tone mentioned, led a team in scoring that was a 2nd seed in the Western Conference last year. And I don't think you could put enough emphasis on that. And for what Jalen Green can do offensively, can be an absolute monster to make this Phoenix Suns team. The thing that worries me is, one, the injuries. And so I'm not necessarily worried about anybody else other than Devin Booker. Because if Devin Booker gets hurt, we're done. We have no chance. Devin Booker, and I might throw Mark Williams in that conversation because what he's been able to do. Now, also Iguodala has been very, very, very good for the Phoenix Suns. But if Devin Booker gets hurt, and if Mark Williams gets hurt, done. Do we have no chance against any other team in the West? But Jalen Green, and Kyson, you brought up a lot of good points because now that pressure's off of him. He's not, the guy anymore. He doesn't have to be the main scorer. He doesn't have to be that main option because now you have Devin Booker. And now you're not going to get trapped as many times. You're not going to get doubled. You're not going to get all eyes on you. You're going to have a little bit more freedom to just go hoop. And I think that could be a huge, huge advantage for the Phoenix Suns because they also have a bunch of other guys who can go score. They have 3 or 4 guys who can give you 20 on any given night, and they've showed it on multiple occasions this season. In terms of the teams in the West, I'm looking at the West. I think all 4 teams below them, from 7 to 10, I think they can beat in a playoff series, whether it's the Lakers, whether it's the Warriors, whether it's the Trailblazers, whether it's the Clippers. Now, unfortunately, we wouldn't be playing them in a playoff series unless we got into the play-in, which is also very, very possible. Above them, I think when they're all healthy, I think there's a chance we could beat Minnesota in a playoff series. Other than that, we could compete with Houston. I don't think we'd be able to beat Houston. And again, I think we might be able to compete with San Antonio. I don't think we'd be able to beat San Antonio, and we wouldn't even be close against the Nuggets and the Thunder. So I love what the Suns are doing, but if you would have told me at the beginning of the season saying that the Suns would be a first-round playoff exit, I would have called you insane, and I would have told you to stop hanging out with Michael Irvin. If you catch my drift, I would have called you insane. But the fact that they have a chance to get into the playoffs, to me, is a win. Is a win for the season. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited of not just how well they're playing, but how hard they're playing, because it's so refreshing to see a team play this hard and give their 100% effort every single night compared to what I watched last season. And the guys looking like they didn't even want to play basketball anymore. So it's just refreshing.
Credit to your coach, too.
Jordan Knott has been a revelation for this team. And so I think a lot of what the Suns are going to do with Jalen Green and the rotations and trying to get all the guards in there, get Colin Gillespie his minutes, get Grayson Allen his minutes. Jordan Goodwin, who has been so good for this basketball team, even especially tonight specifically for this basketball team. But to get all of those guys minutes and to put the right pieces in with each other that need to fit with each other the best, I think that's going to be huge for this basketball team. If Jordan Knott is able to do that, I think this team can have a lot of success going down the stretch. I just don't know how far they would make it in the playoffs. Again, first round exits, I think, would be their peak.
Jalen Green and Mark Williams, a lot of pick and roll, and then they got to figure out a way to get Jalen Green the ball off on those defensive rebounds. Mark Williams grab the ball, give him to Jalen Green so he can get downhill.
100%. And it was cool because in this game tonight, you already can see Jalen Green building a rapport on the court with the Oso Iguodaros and the Mark Williams. And
he's playing a little defense. Playing a little defense too.
Yeah, he did, Tone. Yeah, he did. There's a possession late down the stretch of the game where Tyrese Maxey had a wide open layup, and Jalen Green didn't have to show his athleticism at all. He just kind of slid his feet and stayed in front of him and forced him his layup. And Tyrese Maxey, like you guys mentioned, is a starter in the All-Star game this year.
T-Max is a problem, boy.
A big one, a big problem. So, but that is going to conclude this episode of Gumball Sports Machine. I hope you all enjoyed, and of course, huge shout out to my co-hosts here. My OG, my dog, the generalizer, Triple OG Tone, David D'Lo, aka David Largo. You know what?
Hello?
You know, no one knows. Yep. My dog, my boy, D'Lo, David Largo, aka Coles. D'Lo, appreciate you, my brother. And of course, our expert analyst when we talk about football and basketball. There's very few people I know that know more than him, if any at all. That's Killer Kyson down there in the bottom right. I'm your host, Gumball, as always. If nobody else is going to tell you, I'll tell you. You matter. I love you, and be grateful. Please show a lot of gratitude. Let the people know that you love. Let them know that you love them. Real quick, very, not like, I'm one of my close friends, but John Bloom, he is the voice of the Phoenix Suns on our radio station. He lost his father the other day, so I did want to shout out him. He's very, 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 very good man. Shout out to him. I'm praying for you. My thoughts and prayers are with you, John Bloom. Bloomer, as we like to call him. As always, though, once again, Tone, the generalizer, down there in the bottom left. For Killer Kyson, our expert analyst.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you, sir. For Killer Kyson, our expert analyst, and for D'Lo, David Largo, a.k.a. co-host D'Lo. I'm your host, Gumball. As always, it is nice to be important, but it's much, much more important to be nice. We will see you all Friday night to look ahead to the AFC and NFC championship games this weekend. Love you all. Thank you all. And also, real quick, a lot of love. There's been a lot of love on the channel recently and on all the social medias. A lot of love. So thank you. Thank you. Yes, please follow Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and subscribe on here. Like Tone said, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I'm done. I'm cutting up.
Shout out Papa Dano. Shout out everybody who left a comment today too, man.
Clutch, Papa Dano, Gucci, Kevin, appreciate y'all. And if you're watching later, after we're done with the live, thank you so much for watching. We really, really appreciate all the support. We are getting bigger and better every day. Love you all. Have a fantastic night. See you Friday night. Deuces.